Good morning to you. This is the Morning Ride, the front page review on Voice of the People, 96.1 FM. My name is Gisire Agua.
And I am Simeon Sunday. Good morning. Welcome to the show. 24 minutes gone past 7 o'clock, and it's time for us to go through some of the interesting headlines making the rounds this morning. A lot of developments in the news which we'll be talking about. Well, before that, let's begin with the segment or the section which we call, Who Said What?
All right, so we're starting with Kaduna State. We're seeing, development rather in Kaduna State, seeing some of the situation there as regards bandits and kidnapping. The CDS was in Kaduna State to discuss with the governor on a way forward, finding solutions to this incessant kidnappings in the state. Let's check out what he had to say.
Going on there, but we just want to assure the citizens that sometimes terrible things do happen, but these are things that will make us stronger. What we require is that all Nigerians should put hands together, support the military and other security forces. We are working tirelessly to ensure that we stop these acts of criminality. Abduction, as we know, is a social activity. People are doing it for their own sake. Some are doing it to bring down the government, to make the government look weak. But we guarantee that this will end. We are doing everything possible to ensure that we achieve success, and we will achieve success. Why particular area, and why Kaduna? Why Nigeria? So it's on a broader front. We're looking at all the possible options, why these things are happening. But as we're doing that, we're also trying to stop it, to make sure that it does. But what we require is for Nigerians to give us support. Most times when we get information, it comes in a bit late. Before we react to get there, it is late. But we're happy with the way people are responding. You can see from what happened in Delta State how Nigerians are responding. Everybody supporting the armed forces and the security forces. That is what will ginger the troops to continue to do more. But we assure them that we have given our lives for the sake of this country.
All right, that was the voice of the CDS when he went on a meeting with Governor Sani over recent spates of attacks in the state. Well, the governor also had something to say about the insecurity bedeviling Kaduna State.
I can tell you without any fear of contradiction, all the children kidnapped, by the grace of God, they will return back home safely. Put it down. I'm not telling you this, by the grace of God. All right. And I can tell you, we're determined. We're serious. We know the important responsibility of the government is the protection of lives and properties of the citizens. Put it down. I know that. I'm not only a governor, I was a former lawmaker. I know the law, and I know everything. So for information, don't just run into having a kind of idea that we cannot do it. We will do it. But I will not disclose to you what we are doing. That was the reason why a few days ago I was cautioning media. Some people are even jubilating because of the problem of insecurity in Nigeria. Let me even tell you, that is the reason why some people have rushed into thinking that there's conspiracy in these issues. People are even coming up with some ideas that why are some people jubilating because of insecurity. Look, whether we like it or not, Nigeria is our own country. Kaduna is our state. We will work together to salvage this situation, and we will find solution. I have no doubt in my mind, I'm determined, and we will find solution to this problem. It's just a matter of time.
All right. Okay, so that was the governor of Kaduna State, Ubasani, speaking on the insecurity bedeviling the state. And of course, we've seen, the chief of defense staff talking about General Christopher Musa, also telling us what his men have been able to do so far in addressing the security challenges. Still touching on security this morning on Who Said What before we get to put a call across to El-Rufai Oseni. Let's get to hear what Nnamdi Kanu said yesterday. Of course, we saw the reports across several platforms where it was reported that court denied Kanu bail, and Southeast reps are now demanding an end to his trial. But yesterday he had an explosion in courts, speaking about what is happening in the Southeast.
Let's listen
to him.
We are here to fight for our people, for freedom, for justice, equity, and fairness. That's what we're fighting for. Nothing more, nothing less. And we cannot be cowed by anybody. We are without fear before our enemies. and we speak the truth always. I want all the journalists here arrayed to go and ask government of Nigeria, what happened to treasonable felony? Where are those charges today?
In 2015.
They've just disappeared because they have no evidence against me.
Wait. I went to.
Anybody committing crime cannot go scot-free. I swear it. They cannot go scot-free. Anybody involved in any type of crime in the East cannot go free. And they're doing it because I'm in DSS. That's why if I said no idiot can try this rubbish, and they know it very well. They know it very well. And I suspect that some people in government are complicit. They are making money with insecurity. That's correct. They're making money with it. They know Nnamdi Kanu is outside. In 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop. Who is the idiot? Who is the bagger?
All right.
Okay, that was Nnamdi Kanu. I told you he had an explosion. We cannot even play almost all he said yesterday. He actually made an allegation saying there's a possibility that some elements in government might be complicit. What is happening in the southeast, because we've seen a lot of kidnappings. I saw a report of an unknown gunman attacking a cleric in the southeast, and he has said if he was out, all this wouldn't have happened, because he would have ensured that the South is safe. And he said it, that if they let him out, in less than 2 days, all the unknown gunmen you're hearing, and 2 minutes in the South,
because it's really interesting that he made that statement. Yes. I'm wondering, he's been incarcerated for what? This is 2 years now, almost, maybe a year and a few months. Is this still relevant? Does he still have the amount of relevance that he thinks he has, especially in IPOB? Does he still have that does he wield that amount of power as he used to before his incarceration?
It is really, really pathetic that this is on, or this is going on in the one peaceful region, that most times we do not hear about this. The only thing we used to hear about in the Southeast is robbery. And that was because of the businesses happening in the Southeast, and certain elements will feel they want to go and rob people who are making good money. But we've seen it, degenerate from what it used to be minor petty theft, petty thievery, petty theft to now kidnapping and even killing of people. Really sad one. Anyway, it's time for us to get straight to the front page review. Away from that, we had a lot of soundbite to play, but the time will not permit this morning. But let's try as much as possible to go on a break. When we come back, I'll be having a conversation with El-Rufai right here on the show. Stay with us.
News.
Breaking news on VOP 96.1 FM.
Sports. Business.
The exchange rate will begin to move towards its purchasing power parity value.
Health.
Help the patient as much as you can.
Politics.
Everybody knew that I was just managing.
I withdraw that statement.
Each day you open television, wicked.
Let's be poor.
Breathe. Security.
We're making some arrests already, and we can assure Nigerians that we are on top of the game.
And your voice.
But immediately they are so much, but the story will change.
Talk of lights, talk of good roads, talk of some other things.
Bad roads. They should try and do something to it.
The Morning Ride. Weekdays from 6 a.m. Voice of the people. Now you have a voice. It's thrilling, controversial, heated, thought-provoking. Catch Rufai Oseni.
Came here to misrepresent the facts today as regards subsidy removal.
Kesire Aqua.
Report was that $9 billion is lost yearly to illegal mining.
And Simeon Sunday.
If you know something of this nature is happening within your community, why didn't you raise an alarm?
On the front page review, weekdays at 7:15 a.m. Now you have a voice.
Good morning to you. Welcome. This is Voice of the People, 96.1 FM. The show that you're tuned into right now is the Front Page Review. My name is Gesire.
And I am Simeon Sunday. Welcome to the show.
All right, if you're just tuning in, you can do well to join us on YouTube. It is at Voice of the People, Abuja. Voice of the People, Abuja. Join us on YouTube, Voice of the People, Abuja. You can also join our WhatsApp platform. It is 0700 010 961 961 0700 010 961 961. We've got Rufai Oseni on the phone. Good morning to you.
Hi, Getty. How's it going? How are you?
Good morning. Great to have you on the show this morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Bless you guys.
Okay, let's start, with the statement of Godswill Akpabio, where he is currently under fire. And according to the statement he made, he has linked soldiers killing in, Ugeli to mercenaries. And the civil society organization and even security experts are now criticizing him for linking the killing, of this military personnel to mercenaries. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, real quickly, we all know there's an antecedent to how he speaks, but he has also come out to say that, no, people are misquoting him and all of that. But I don't want that to be the substantive matter, that somebody that even have the information, he has no gravitas to speak on the matter. He's not the state governor. He has not done a fact-finding mission on that. The state governor, let's listen to the state governor that did a fact-finding mission that went out there. He has gone to brief the president. So the question is, what are going to be the solutions? And how are we going to balance the story in such a way that people are not being killed and all of that? Also, we had an interview yesterday with the president of the Joy Youth Council that talked about killings going on in Bayelsa. So we are wondering what is happening as regards all of these killings. I mean, from the community in Delta to killings in Bayelsa, what's the tedious link here? And that's what we should stop. Also, we condemn the killing of the soldiers. We condemn the killing of the military men. But we must try as much as possible to restore peace and sanity. Let's focus on that rather than focusing on somebody that has no facts of the matter and that has an antecedent.
All right, still on insecurity, right? We're seeing 165 farmers that were killed in March. Farms are deserted as bandits demand 3 billion naira. I mean, we've seen the Senate saying that food insecurity is a threat to national survival, and now we're seeing reports that 165 farmers have been attacked just in March alone. Mr. Rufai, are we even taking this issue of insecurity seriously, especially the farmers herders clashes? Are we taking that seriously?
It's just unbelievable what is happening, and I don't think we're taking it seriously enough. I think I have provided solutions at nauseam here as regards what we can do, and I'll repeat some of them. We need to be able to defend the farmers. We need to be able to defend the people out there. And how do we do this? We do this by ensuring that we have a community and a society that truly accounts for them. The military must be with them. The vigilante unit set up by the Benue State government also must be with them. Because in all of this, I don't see the Benue State governor reacting properly. I mean, all I just see is a kid glove reaction to all of what is happening. So the Benue State governor must be hands-on as regards all of this. And he must try as much as possible to stop the chaos that is happening in the state by working in synergy with the federal government. Also, we must be able to have sort of like a community watch system where, there's a quick reportage between the authorities in the community and the military. That has to be done. But also when you make a case for that, the military has been found wanting too many times. So these are the things we must need to put in place real quickly.
Is there a collaboration that these states can come towards? Can they come together to collaborate? Because you're having Benue State, Sokoto, Niger, Plateau. These are states that have been bedeviled with this issue of farmers getting attacked in their farms. Is there a way that the governors can come together and find a lasting solution to all their problems? Because it's still the same problem in these different states.
I think there's a room for collaboration, but collaboration, what's the outcome after the collaboration? It should not just be collaboration for the sake of the collaboration, but there should be a veritable outcome from the collaboration, because that's what makes a difference in the end.
Okay, let's quickly talk about, this report that have, reactions have trailed. And according to Daily Trust, it talks about, 7 states in the north that have spent about 28.3 billion naira on Ramadan feeding, I beg your pardon. That's Katsina, Sokoto, Kano, Jigawa, Kebbi, Niger, as well as Yobe State. And, Daily Trust did a breakdown of every item bought and how much it is worth across the 7 states. And I've seen a couple of reactions from Nigerians as regard this. 28.3 billion naira on feeding during this period.
That's a lot of money. The question is, hope we're having proper accountability as regards that feeding. I know it's a cultural thing, you help feed people during Ramadan and all of that, but also, can we also make empowerment in such a way possible for the people that their lives are a whole lot better that we don't need to expend so much state resources on feeding people during the Ramadan. That's another question we should ask ourselves. Also, can we also ensure that we do it such a way that we also have a sustainable scheme of development for these people, that they don't have to depend on government for feeding? Because you see, when you are expending big amounts like that on feeding, it just shows there are a lot of people that can't afford food. And that's the sad reality. So it's even more scary, the level of poverty as against, the cultural implication like they normally do in the past. So it's a big problem.
Is it more
to be able to feed themselves?
Mr. Rufai, is it more of people being unable to feed, or is it more on the part of the communal living? We know that even before this time, this has always been a culture in the northern part where people share food.
I know, but these days it's more about people being unable to feed already. Because if people were able to feed, people will bring all their food out and they will not need to depend on the government. But it's really about people unable to feed. You see, I was talking to a friend of mine. She's the chief nutritionist of UNICEF, and she was telling me about a report that just came out that about 32 million people will go off without food, and it's very sad. I mean, she works in the core north with UNICEF. It's shocking what is happening. Maybe one of these days I'll bring her on the show. I'll bring Nimat on the show, and she'll say with her own mouth, it's shocking what is happening. People cannot feed, and also, case of insecurity too have made the problem greater for them. Because there's insecurity, there's strife, there's bigotry, there's pain, and all of that. So there are many complicated matters out there.
Okay, quickly, let's touch on this one. It seems like respite might be coming to Nigerians as finally, it seems like the government is now hearing us. The Punch reports that federal government has now named 15 terrorism financiers, the BDCs, and also they are planning to sanction those they've found culpable in one way or the other. This is one question you asked.
It's not about naming them. Until I see the full level of prosecution, we are just joking. Didn't the Dubai Authority, hand over documents as regards terrorist financing the other time? What did the government do? We did nothing.
Hello.
I'm with you. So it's not about naming them. It's about taking action.
All right. Bless you. This issue of the federal government naming 15 terrorism financiers, is it possible that is also linked? Because we've been seeing the fight against Binance. Could this also be one of the reasons why there's a back and forth between the federal government and Binance?
Even apart from Binance, there have been terrorist financiers everywhere. If you remember, there was a top naval chief or somebody that granted an interview that went viral with the television station the other day and was pinpointing most of the things that are happening. Why has government not taken action on those things? So forget it, there's a complicity chain. So it's not just about financing of terrorism, there's a complicity chain across board.
So are you saying that some elements in government are complicit with what is happening right now? Because that is what Nnamdi Kanu said yesterday while in court. While talking about the insecurity in the southeast.
So we cannot deny the fact that there's also constantly been a conversation of complicity chain in all of this. So, except we want to deceive ourselves.
Okay. Finally, before we let you go, let's talk about Nnamdi Kanu for a bit. Now we've seen the court denying, him bail, and some House of Rep members from the southeast are now demanding an end to his trial that it has lingered for too long. I don't know if you saw what he said in court. So many, incriminating statements, especially tackling the government from Nnamdi Kanu yesterday.
Constantly he said some of these things. Most of these things are things already in the public space. But one thing is certain, we need to find a political solution to the problem. I was shocked that after, top elders from the East went to President Buhari, then to talk to him about a political solution. I thought he was going to yield, but obviously he didn't yield, and that conversation still rages on. But one thing is certain, we need to bring peace back. He's been able to state that most of the things being perpetrated are not IPOB, and to a large extent, you understand, what is going on because there's been a criminalization of the ideology, and hitherto, even before the proliferation of IPOB, we know how the East was inundated with crimes. We used to hear about how at some point in the early 2000s we had to use the Bakassi boys to fight some of this crime. That led to films like Isakaba, if you remember. In fact, I think they're even going to make a sequel this year again. So which Lancelot has been talking to me to come and star in at some point. But I mean,
we hope you
that would be interesting to
see. You know, we all know the stories of the likes of Jericho Wambama and all of that.
Yes.
So there's that criminality angle to that. I think that's what has come back. It's just morphed and it's just seen something like a cloak to wear. So first, let's stop this madness with the Nnamdi Kanu situation. Have a political solution to it. All right. Then now morph it into a conversation of existing peace, because we need peace for development. If you don't have peace, you can't develop, and that's the most important thing.
All right. Nnamdi Kanu yesterday, he made a statement. He said if he was released, to the southeast, he would stop insecurity in 2 minutes. I mean, that's a very bold statement.
I think the criminality has eaten so deep that I don't know about that 2 minutes.
Exactly. I was actually
I think that was just largely braggadocious. Probably when he comes out and see what it has morphed into on ground. He might not.
It'll be a different tune.
Maybe I don't know who are feeding him with information, while he's still in custody. Probably he feels all of this is happening because of his incarceration.
Morning, doctor. The Yorubas have a saying, you're tough for Juba. So maybe when he sees it himself, he'll understand. But I gotta go, guys.
Okay.
Bless you up.
All right. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Okay, that was El-Rufai Oseni right here on the front page review. Of course, he said what has happened in the southeast has morphed from what probably Nnamdi Kanu used to know just before his incarceration.
Again, Simeon, I'm still bringing up this conversation because someone asked me about it. Someone said, because we're talking about this Nnamdi Kanu's court case and all that, and the court denying him bail, and he asked me, he said, does Nnamdi Kanu think that he wields the same power that he used to wield prior to his incarceration?
The truth is, just as we see the president not being everywhere, feeling that things are working because he's giving directives, maybe that is how it is for Nnamdi Kanu. Before his incarceration, we know how powerful Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was, especially the stronghold he was holding on. He had on certain individuals in the southeast, not everyone, so I don't want to generalize. There's some people that still do not buy his ideology, but a majority of the people who are strong supporters of his ideologies, majority of the people who tune their radio to Radio Biafra, which he used to stream then via the AM frequency. I think that was some years back before the clamp down on that particular station. They know the power this man wields. And some have actually said they know the power. In fact, President Muhammadu Buhari at the time knew the power Nnamdi Kanu wielded. And that was why he was incarcerated for this long. We've seen so many charges against him, treasonable felony, so many charges against him. Some were being dropped, new charges being brought up here and there, even though they have said this is just a way of elongating and extending the case so that Nnamdi Kanu will still keep being in incarceration. But that is from the people a different ball game on its own. But the truth is, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, Nnamdi Kanu to an extent still wields some form of power in the south.
Because the current reality of things is such that when you look at the insecurity generally in the southeast, you would see that things have escalated from what he knew to what it is right now, and he's not even aware of how the situation
whether you like it or
gotten.
not, criminal elements will always more from what it used to be. Remember, it used to be Boko Haram right here, and then we saw the ISIS segment, ISWAP, I beg your pardon, segment of Boko Haram and Boko Haram fighting each other, even though they had similar ideology at the time. And even within the structures of Boko Haram, at the time, this man who was reportedly killed 4 times, and they are still killing him. Sheikh, is this Shekarau? Not Shekarau. What is his?
I think it was Shekarau.
Not Shekarau.
The
name
has
of
been defined.
This Boko Haram commander that we heard several times that they've killed him to the point that we don't even know if the man is a cat with 9 lives. When I remember his name, I think I will drop it right here. The name just eluded me right now. So when you hear a story like this, institutions or criminal institutions like this always morph. So it is not surprising if certain elements within IPOB, Shekau, that's his name, Abubakar Shekau, yes, that's the name I was trying to remember. within the IPOB members, there are some who would have, despite the ideology that Nnamdi Kanu was pushing towards them, realization of a country. They need their own country, which at the end of the day is not wrong. Anybody, I can stand out now and say I don't even want Akwa Ibom state to be a part of Nigeria, but the process of me pushing for that particular state is what matters. In the case of Nnamdi Kanu, some have said he's trying to use violent means, which I don't know, which is still in court, so they will define that for them.
Well, according to Nigeria, secession is a crime.
No, it's not a crime. Secession is not a crime. Let's not get it twisted. Secession itself is not a crime. We've had countries even within Africa secede from their mother country because of maybe their ideologies are different, what certain regions want, or even marginalization, just in the case of Southeast, as their crime. Secession itself is not a crime. It is how you push for this secession that now matters. It is how you go about it.
Well, Simeon, I mean, the federal government will beg to differ, because why else is an IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu, in incarceration? Why else is he there? I mean, it's calls for secession, and then the Ibadan, the Oyo State,
the Yorubam guy pushing for the realization of the Oduduwa Republic.
Exactly, that one as well. I can't.
That is Igboho, Sunday Igboho.
Yes, Sunday Igboho as well. I mean, we could see how that played out, especially during the Buhari's regime. Administration. We didn't see a fluid
was Buhari's administration a regime? You can call it. You are not totally far from.
It was an administration. Democracy dictates that
it was a democratic regime. We should put it that way.
Please, let's go and pay some bills before NBC comes to us today.
Voice of the People, 96.1 FM. Today's sun is so hot though.
So what are you waiting for? Get the authentic taste of creamy cold berry ice cream. To order online from Gariki, call 090-8831-5907. Guarimpa 090-8831-5909. And Lugbe 090-8845-3416.
Enjoy authentic cold berry ice cream.
Are you traveling to Lagos and desire a perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, number 42 Murtala Mohammed International Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in our beautiful appointed rooms, featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Now, whether you are traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your every need is met. We also offer complimentary pickup and drop from the Lagos airport.
Why not take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant?
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So why wait? Book your stay today and experience the ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Believe me.
We have been serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at BOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. BOP TV, show up, speak up.
I'm coming in hot. Now, you can enjoy the original taste of premium American Romeo's Pizza. Juicy, just the way you like it. To order online from Guarimpa, call 090-8831-5908. Gariki 090 88315906 and Lupe 09092389861. Romeo's Pizza, the pizza champions.
Coming in hot, just like the way
We bring you all the big stories and what's behind them. Politics, business, sports, news, all on VOP 96.1 FM. Now you have a voice.
Voice of the People, 96.1 FM.
You're welcome back. This is still the front page review right here on Voice of the People 96.1. And in case you're wondering how you can join the conversation, feel free to put a call across to us or even send us a voice note via the number 0700 010 961 961 0700 010 961 961. And you can also join us on YouTube as we are streaming live via the platform. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People Abuja. All you have to do is type in Voice of the People Abuja. You'll see us there, VOP 961, and then you can click on it and get to watch us live. Remember to subscribe as well. Let's get back to the conversation right here on the show. And still a lot of headlines to go through this morning, especially with recent development in Abia State. But before that, we're being joined by Larry Ogwego this morning. Good morning to you, Mr. Larry.
All right. We're still waiting for him to join in the conversation. Okay. Yes, we're still waiting for him to, accept the conversation. But hey, we have a couple of headlines. The federal government had named 15 terrorism financiers, BDCs, and they're planning sanctions. I mean, this isn't the first time we're seeing terrorism financiers being named. And this is not the first time we're seeing the federal government saying they'll go ahead and clamp down on all, they'll try to trace the money and find out who are financing terrorism. But we don't ever see the names of these individuals. We don't see them prosecuted to the full wrath of the law. Good morning, Mr. Larry, and welcome.
Hi, good morning, Gessin, and good morning, Simeon Peters.
Good morning, Simeon. I love the way I've been rechristened. Anyway, it's me on Sunday.
Sorry, you said you love?
I said I love how I've been rechristened. I've been given a new name, baptismal name, by you. Anyway, it's Simeon Sunday.
It happens. You know things change. So sometimes maybe you've had that name for too long.
Exactly. Maybe it's time for me to change it. Okay, welcome to the show. Quickly, let's talk about part of what we had, the conversation we had earlier, but let's get to hear your opinion on it. The federal government, according to the report on the Punch newspaper, have now named 15 terrorism financiers, BDCs, and now they are planning sanction. And part of the persons, based on this particular development, there are individuals who have been identified, 15 entities, including 9 individuals and 6 bureau the change operators and firms have been, allegedly involved in terrorism financing. And part of the individuals, that have been mentioned right here, based on the documents, was the Kaduna-based publisher Tokur Mamu, who is currently being tried by the federal government for allegedly aiding the terrorists who attacked the Abuja train, Kaduna train back in March 2022. And why he is being tried is that he helped deliver ransom payment, according to the report, over the sum of $200,000 US in support of ISWAP terrorists for the release of the hostage who were held during the Abuja Kaduna train attack.
Well, the question is, with this conversation is, are we going to see the prosecution of these individuals to the full extent of the law? Are we going to see that? Because this isn't the first time we've seen terrorism financiers being fingered by the federal government. So are we going to see full wrath of the law being brought upon on these individuals?
I don't think so. I think one of the major problems we have as a country is that we don't have the moral courage to do what we need to do so that we can get the solutions we need to have. The old boy network in Nigeria is very powerful. What we call connections work in a very terrible way in Nigeria. You know, we used to call it IM some time ago. It's a slang with a very powerful connotation. It's unfortunate, but we are that country where people make a lot of noise about things, and then sometimes you won't know what just happened to the noise. This is not the first time we've heard about financiers of terrorism and banditry and what's going to be done to them, and the fact that they will be tried, at the least we made public. The last administration made some serious noise about it some time ago, but at least we made public that we're going to do this and that they will face the full wrath of the law. My pain is that they don't face the law at all, how much more they rot. And when they do, they usually get a slap on the wrist. Sometimes cases are commenced and they are dropped. Of course, we know about the face-off, the case between the government and Gumi that tried some time ago to act as a go-between. And sometimes they don't even tell us precisely how these cases are managed. And this is why people lose confidence in government and governance in Nigeria. So if they are going to tell us that, we now have people that we are going to try, they shouldn't say those things if they are not willing to try them. I think the most important thing here is, if you are not going to take the action, don't even talk about it, so that you won't get people to have high expectations and high hopes that finally we are going to begin to solve this problem, we're going to begin to tackle the problem, and then nothing happens. So they get deflated again. At some point, even when you now say we're going to do something, the people won't take you seriously. Even when you intend to mobilize them to solve problems, whether it's security problem, economic problem, they won't take you seriously, because basically you don't follow through on your promises. And I don't think this...
Hello. All right, you can join the conversation, Voice of the People Abuja. That's on YouTube. You can join the conversation on Voice of the People Abuja. That's on YouTube. You want to call into the studio, you can do that as well. It is 0700 010 961 961. 0700 010 961 961. You're welcome back, Mr. Larry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that we have reached that point where we find it difficult to believe anything coming from the government. But we hope that this time they will go through with their promise and actually try people they believe are involved in funding or facilitating terrorism. And this issue of ransom, it's a very complex matter. However, I think we need to get to that point where we define what is a crime and what is not. If my relation is kidnapped and the government is not in a position to help me, and I'm worried about my relation's safety or about the person's life, and I go and pay ransom, is it a crime? If the government thinks it should be a crime, they should clearly define the fact that this is a crime, to the extent that maybe if it's not your relation and facilitate, it's a crime. But even if they are trying to define whether it's a crime to pay ransom or not, they should also protect us. If you don't have the capacity to stop the kidnapper who may kill my relation or my friend, then you shouldn't tell me not to pay ransom. I mean, I think I should see the ability to protect and to rescue before you begin to say don't pay ransom. But I think that there is need to have a clear definition of what would happen, and then we'll now say, no, this person is aiding terrorism. So at what point does paying ransom or facilitating ransom payments become paying aiding terrorism? We need to define those things clearly. We may need to begin to legislate on some of these things, but we don't just legislate or talk about sanctions. We need to also talk about how to prevent these things from happening or what to do when they happen. So you don't beat a child and you tell the child not to cry. You don't kidnap people and then tell the family to just sit down and wait and hope for the best. If they have money for ransom, they're likely to go and pay.
All right. Still on this issue, we're moving on now, rather, to Nnamdi Kanu in court. Yesterday, he was denied bail. And, he talked about the fact that he'll end insecurity in 2 minutes. Obviously, that's...
In the Southeast.
That's in the Southeast, rather. That's a very, very tall conversation that he would have. And a shocking reality that will hit him once upon leaving, incarceration. But the question now is, the influence of Nnamdi Kanu, has it been watered down in the Southeast? Since his incarceration up until now, does he wield the same amount of power as he used to, with the same amount of influence as he used to in the Southeast?
Obviously not. There are some people who are still emotionally tied to what he preached before the incarceration. But the truth is that he doesn't wield that much power. We actually have seen splinter groups emerge from IPOB. We have also seen one Simon Ekpa, who has his own mind and does his own thing using the name of IPOB. So even when Nnamdi Kanu and the people who are supposed to be the legitimate leaders of IPOB make pronouncements, Simon Ekpa will do what he wants to do. So it's obvious that he doesn't have as much influence as he used to have, basically because the incarceration, which has gone on for just too long, has diminished his influence. And it's obvious that the way he's detained, it's difficult for him to communicate with outside. Maybe if the person is in prison where it's easier to reach the outside, maybe the person may wield more influence. But the way he's detained, I think that's also part of the factor, because without communication as a leader, it's very difficult to control the people you are leading. But the truth also is that the splinter groups have made it obvious that he doesn't wield as much influence as he used to wield. And I think this issue of keeping him there forever is not healthy. I'm not discussing whether he's in Nnamdi Kanu now or not. I think we need to clean up our criminal justice system. If you say a man is suspected of having committed a crime, you either let the person go or you try the person and convict the person. So the person will serve the jail term and go. You can't be trying the person forever. I think it's actually what we have here is a situation where they don't want this trial to end and they don't want to convict either. If there is that conviction that he did something wrong, then go ahead with the trial. That's why I'm happy about the pronouncement on accelerated hearing. Accelerated hearing means that finally and at last they are going to conduct the hearing, and they'll have to get to that point where we'll get a pronouncement on the substantive matter. And that is very important. So I hope that they will also stick to the accelerated hearing. And I also hope that both parties, because sometimes you wonder who is actually delaying the case. Is it the federal government or the Nnamdi Kanu party? I think both parties should actually go on with this trial. Since Nnamdi Kanu and his legal team believe that he didn't do anything, and the government thinks they did. So what they should do is to go to court, slug it out, and then they tell us the outcome. We can't keep talking about this forever with the attendant distraction that it provides. The alternative is to look at a political solution, but that appears not to have worked. That is obvious. I mean, we've been talking about it for too long and it's not working. So in which case, they should go ahead and conduct the trial. So we can't be talking about this forever. They can't keep him there forever. You're not making progress with the trial, and we are not giving him soft landing so that we can resolve the matter. I think it's about time we did something about this. And this accelerated hearing is a very good pronouncement, and I think they should stick to it and dispense with this matter.
Okay, anyway, let's move away from that quickly. Let's talk about Abia State for a bit. I don't know, mixed reactions have actually trailed this development where Abia Assembly have now passed a bill to stop pension for ex-governors and their deputies. And according to them, it said that the bill was assented to by the governor, will be referred to as Abia State Governors and Deputy Governors Repeal Law 2024. And if we see this, this law or being abolished, truly, the pension for ex-governors and deputies, we'll get to see the likes of Ojuzo Kalu, was a former governor of the state, who is also a current senator, is receiving allowances as a senator and also receiving pension as ex-governor. You ask yourself, where is this being done? And the reason given by the State House of Assembly is that they want to cut down costs. So how do you see this particular development? I'm not only talking for, Kalu, who is a senator. There are other former governors who are not even in the Senate.
Well, I think it's a very good development, but I think they're being nice about the reason. It's not just about cutting down costs. It's a moral issue. We operate in a nation where someone will be a governor for 8 years and then he will earn humongous pension and then all kinds of frills, brand new car every 3 years, house in Abuja, all sorts of the police orderly, trips abroad for health check, local health bills. Now you pay this person all of these things and you are not able to pay people who put in 35 years of service. That is sacrilege. I don't know how these things work in Nigeria. I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised that we have labor unions that only discuss things that I consider sometimes, don't get me wrong, frivolous compared to the real issues. There are issues that I'm more upset about than the fact that, you owe me salaries or difference, you promised to pay me extra this and you didn't pay that, or you are not dashing me the extra 20k. Those things for me, they are not fundamental. You see, I think we need to get to that point where we have fundamental discussions. Why is it, for instance, that most states charge the salaries of political appointees to the state consolidated account? That is, every 25th or what date they choose, the money drops in the account of the political appointees. And the governors know that this happens and they facilitate it. When I say political appointees, I mean some of them don't have desks, they don't have offices, they don't have duties, they just dash their money. And then the civil servants who actually work very hard, sometimes are owed for months on end. So it's a very good development. Apart from cutting costs, which is a legitimate reason, I think they should just tell us that it doesn't make sense. First of all, if you want to call a spade, the governors, some of them serve for 4 years, some for 8 years. The second reason that we shouldn't be thinking about this pension is that they're still us blind. The average governor makes enough money to last 2 or 3 lifetimes. So I don't see why we should pay him after that. The third is that I don't know why we should allow people to facilitate processes that will be beneficial to them. So a governor sits there and instructs the House of Assembly to pay him pension and all kinds of, give him all kinds of privileges, and even tells them what he wants, and they will do it. Under the last administration in the Enugu state, they wanted to review this same matter of allowances upwards. It was the uproar that it generated that made them backtrack. That's all of us went up in arms. Who does that? And then they were overwhelmed and they pulled back. But the point is, it shouldn't be happening. And I hope other states will take a cue from Abia State. It's a thing of courage. It's something that shows that they have political courage. And that also tells you that we live in a country where our laws operate, or our bills are passed and initiated and passed based on sometimes on the whims of the governor. So a governor that is responsible financially speaking in managing funds comes and says, House of Assembly, can you just throw this out of the window? And they do. You'll be surprised that another governor may come and say, House of Assembly, can you reinstate this and pay arrears? And they will. Now, why am I making this comment? We need to get to that point where we have a genuine House of Assembly that will have a mind of its own and be able to have reasons for the bills they pass, the choices they make. Because it's obvious, I can see both the voice of Abel and the hand of Abel in this matter. I don't think it's the house that woke up one day to say,
exactly. I was actually going to talk about that.
Somebody who
are you saying
them to do
it is Alex Oti who's pushing for this
I was
quietly?
to ask about that.
That is exactly what I'm saying. So the question is, are you going to have another Oti after this Oti? Then in other states, do we have Otis? What I think is happening is that Governor Oti has challenged other governors, because the other governors are also waiting to join the queue of people who receive money they didn't earn.
Obviously.
Because these are men who walk away with security force that they don't account for.
I won't be surprised if Kano State House of Assembly.
And at the end of the day, you still want pensions and benefits and perks that are mind-boggling in a country where the people are impoverished. So I think it's a plus for Oti, but I think we should also encourage Oti to raise a political class. Since the governors give tickets, I will just put it bluntly, give tickets to responsible persons who can sustain your line of thinking. And he has 4 years and then another 4 years, hopefully, to do that. So he can build a new political culture in Abia State, where responsible people will not allow political rascals to reverse the gains we hope Abia will make in the next 4-8 years. So I think it's a kudos for Oti and House of Assembly. But I also think that we should have a House of Assembly that should make choices, not only in Abia State, but in other states. They should throw all of those things out of the window. I think he's putting money in the wrong place, like you collect from the poor and give to the rich who don't obviously need it.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Larry, for joining us and our conversation this morning.
It's my pleasure, my privilege to be part of the conversation.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful day.
I hope they're also listening to the voice of the people. All of those people who are talking to, they should listen to the voice of the people.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful day.
And you too.
All right, to you listening, we will go ahead and take a break, a short, very short break. We'll be back in a moment with our guest in the studio, Ebuka from BD Swiss. Keep it locked.
It's our legacy.
Nigeria must be cool. The labor of our heroes past must never be in vain.
It's your mandate.
Our allegiance is to the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and not to any political party or any political actor.
News from all around the world. Voice of the People, 96.1 FM.
As a sharp business owner, you know you need to advertise your business, right? You need the adverts. So, what better platform to advertise than with VOP 96.1 FM? Our rates are friendly, our reach extensive. Take that bold step and advertise that business today. Give us a call on 081 799 29729 or visit our office at number 4 Ogbomosho Street, Romeo's Pizza Building, Area 8, Abuja. See ya!
You're welcome back to the front page review on Voice of the People 96.1 FM. But we've got a guest in the studio, Ebuka from BD Swiss. At this point, it's becoming like you are household
family.
I think it's about time we start opening the mic for Ebuka to just run through what Tinubu is saying and what Akpabio is also not saying. It's about that time.
Yes, but maybe we'll stick to economic conversation.
So that
he will shoot himself on the foot. All right. Anyway, you are from BD Swiss and you're a forex brokerage firm.
Yes.
But tell us in more details just what you do at BD Swiss.
All right. So first of all, BD Swiss is a reputable financial service provider. Basically, what we do is we create a platform for you to trade financial assets. Now, assets like gold, oil, commodities, and stocks. So, meaning we have almost all assets that we have physically on the planet online. So I always like to say it like this: we have our physical selves, we also have our online self. That's why we have an Instagram page or a Facebook page. So that's the same way gold right now, a gold bar, all right, also has its online self. So you don't have to have a gold bar at home for you to trade, all right. You don't have to have an oil block. Right now, all of these things are online. Literally, you can trade corn, cocoa, pepper, everything online. So we create a platform for you to be able to do that. Now, my job in BD Swiss is I'm a market analyst. I am chief market analyst for BD Swiss Nigeria. So basically, I train people around the country on how to successfully, consistently, and accurately trade the forex market. So we train them in skills like risk management, strategy, discipline, all right, and psychology, of course, the mindset of trading. So we make sure that we create fearless traders. We're building a community of consistent and fearless traders. So that's what I do in BD Swiss. But this is what BD Swiss is all about, and that's why to do that we have organized a wealth creation seminar, which has been happening for the past 2 to 3 months. Now, this week we have 2 more to go. This week, that's Saturday, that's about next tomorrow or two days from now, we will be having a wealth creation seminar, another wealth creation seminar, where we will be informing people about the financial markets, especially the forex markets, because it's a $7.5 trillion market.
So aside teaching people the financial market, the psychology of trading and everything, what are the perks attached to, especially for those who want to be a part of this business summit, to get to learn about the market generally?
Okay, now so one of the things that we do first is to make sure that you understand that there's first a financial market, all right, where you can take advantage of and buy assets. So you don't have to wait till you have maybe 100 million, 150, 200 to buy a real estate, all right, whether it's land or it's a house, all right. You can, from the comfort of your home, with $100, $200, $500, $1,000, all right, and you can take part in buying assets, because the only way you can create wealth is by buying assets. The only way you can multiply your wealth is by investing. All right, because investing multiplies what you have. You can't gain wealth by saving. All right, because as long as money is being printed, there's always devaluation. And it's not just about naira. Anywhere money is being printed, the money devalues. So what you're looking for is, so that's why there's a quote from somebody that says, cash is not king, cash flow is king. That means you should find a means to make sure that you have cash flow regularly. So the forex market or the financial market is a means, all right, is a means where you can gain financial assets, and you can earn substantial cash flow, all right, that would help you to improve in your financial goals and all of that. So that's basically what we do. So we make you aware, we inform you, and then we train you on how to go about it.
All right. Some people have this notion in their heads that the forex market is a get rich quick scheme.
Yes.
So what exactly is your take on that?
Okay, there is no get rich quick scheme that has ever actually worked. If you look at anyone at all, all right. There was this quote somewhere. You could quick money goes when quick money comes in. All right, it goes out faster. So the way to wealth actually takes a process. It takes time. All right, and you will need to follow mentors that have really built wealth to actually understand this. Many young people think that you can just bypass the process of time, all right, and building up yourself, all right, to get to that point. Because for you to actually get wealth and attain wealth, there's a lot you need to know. There's a mentality you need to know. There are things that you need to study to get there. All right. Now, the forex. Another thing is that many people do not have the correct mindset about the financial markets. Okay. So they've been wrongly taught. All right, and this is based on many people that do not even understand it. So they come with the mindset that you can bring $50 and make this amount of money. Now, that is very true, because the forex market is highly liquid. The $7.5 trillion market is not theory. All right, it is real. All right, this is real money right there, every day, daily. All right, the amount of money that goes through the world is just 40 trillion. The forex market has 7.5 per day. All right, forex market gives you 225 trillion or 225 billion every month. So it means that there is a huge percentage. There's a reason why many people are flowing money through this market. And I always say the money is in the money business. So if every time money goes from one place to another, anybody that is in between that exchange makes money. And this is the brokerage firm here. All right. So this is why when it comes to Forex, first of all, we train you to understand that this is not where you will make money quick. All right. But this is where you can make money consistently. All right.
Consistency.
Yes, that's it. That's right. Okay. So this is why we train you that there's a process to get in here. All right. There's a mindset to get in here. There's an education that you need to know for you to get that financial goal.
Okay.
Right,
and that is what this summit is all about,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So give us more details about this summit, especially the one happening on Saturday.
All right. So this Saturday we'll be having another wealth creation seminar. And then the event is completely and absolutely free, but you will need to register to save a slot. Now, to do that, all you need to do is to send your name and email address to 070-680-11680. I repeat, to register and save a slot, all you need to do is to send your name and email address to 070-680-11680. Now the seminar will be holding at the BD Swiss Abuja office. This is located at 25 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5. The time is 9 a.m. Also, the first 40 people to register and save a slot will each win $10. It's called a no deposit bonus. Of course, terms and conditions apply.
All right. So, time?
Yes, time 9 a.m. It's happening at the BD Swiss Abuja office located at 25 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5. To register and save a slot, all you need to do is send your name and email address right now to 070-680-11680.
All right, 070-680-11680. Number 25 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja. If you're interested in finding, a source of income that is consistent, it gets rich quick.
Not MMM, not MMM, because it did us strong thing. Okay, it did us. I was part of the us now.
How much did you lose?
I don't ask me that. Yeah. Don't ask me that.
It must have been huge.
Okay, so at least you know that this is not a get-rich scheme, your quick scheme. It's something you need to consistently build on. And to be a part of this summit, all you have to do is send your name and email address, as a form of registration to the number 070-680-11680. 070-680-11680. And the address, where the summit will be happening after you've registered via the number is 25 Ndola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5. 25 Ndola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5. And before we let you go, Ebuka, quickly, when it comes to investments, getting to know about money, Nigerians are always very skeptical about it, especially for people who have lost money in different investment schemes. So what do you have to say about that, basically? And how to assure them that?
I always say this, the financial market and risk goes hand in glove. When people come and meet me and say what's guarantee, there's no guarantee in the financial market at all. Zero guarantee. In life, there is no guarantee. All right. The probability that you see tomorrow is 1/2. You don't know that. If your name is not God, you don't know what will happen tomorrow. The only thing you can do is that you can manage risk. So when we tell people that the financial market and risk comes hand in glove, what we now tell them is that we don't remove the risk, we learn how to manage that risk. So if you've lost all that money, all right, there's probably some knowledge that you need. You probably didn't manage that, because it's not just about making money. Managing money also has to do with that. So that's why we teach risk management as one of the core principles to trading.
Okay,
that's right.
Amazing. All right, thank you so much,
Ebuka
from BD Swiss. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, to you listening, this has been the morning ride on this has been front page review rather on the morning ride on Voice of the People 96.1 FM. Make sure that you're keeping it locked right here. Don't go anywhere, because at 8:30 the sports bit will be on your airways. My name is Gesere
and I am Simeon Sunday.
Good morning.